is actually a return. He was previously approved in November. Made some changes. These are all pictures. Pass down. These are large plans. I think it's 36 by 48.
Wow. Oh, I hate that sign.
I did too.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I know, I didn't think that
You
was,
sure? I can see that without my glasses. See across the room.
so they're actually here,
Yeah, Noah?
yes.
I couldn't understand what it was wrong.
So, can I have them come up? Hi, can you guys hear? So they had if you want to just go down to the other, so they had come in October. They were doing a one-story addition. We asked them to return. It had a barn style, one-story addition and a rear addition to the existing home. They were adding a cupola.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
The chimney, we asked them to remove it. At the meeting, they removed it. It was more
Yeah, I
for
remember
decorative.
that. Yeah.
That was the only change.
Right.
So I'm not sure why they're returning today, if you wanna.
Yes, we are returning that, we are removing the, we are not no more, no longer doing the second floor. And
It's a big change.
yes, and then we are putting on the, there's a deck we are putting on one side, where the empty space on the garage side. And we are putting also the room on one side, there's the existing deck which is, we are removing it.
So this is what you're talking about,
Yes.
this is the addition. Yes, you can tell us.
This
exactly.
is what was approved in November.
Yeah, I see that.
This is the, this is what the room is, which is, we are not doing work unless we have to get, the inspector said, we have to get the, variance plan.
So I'm confused what that two gable drawing is when I looked at it. What is that?
So this is the, so this is the addition we are making, but that is not, right now, we are not doing any construction on it. Because we, inspector said we have to get the variance for it.
Oh, okay.
So first we have to apply for the variance, if
Okay.
get approved, then we will do
Come-
this
You'll
construction.
come back to us?
Yes.
I see.
And
But for
but
right
the-
now, you want us to just.
We just,
So this is different than this.
no, this is the same thing.
So where's this?
So
Yeah, yeah,
this is the deck we are putting on it.
Oh, where's this? Where's that elevation here?
Oh,
I don't see. So it's not, so it's different, yes?
It's over
Yeah,
here.
I think so, yeah, we
So
just.
shall we, where is it?
Nice deck, kind of funny.
So why aren't you doing this one?
What happened to the second story?
Because there were sprinkler were adding and also there were, we have to add, the cost was so much high as compared to we did the comparison as after the neighborhood. And then the cost was not as much, I mean, we were gonna make profit out of it. So,
Do you build it or
yes, we are doing
just
it,
back out?
yes,
So this is not yet here on the big plans.
not yet,
Okay,
so,
alright, so that, because what you're presenting here is, I think, only on this page.
yes.
Okay, so we don't get confused.
And this one will be true.
And we are adding, we're keeping the bathroom, one existing bathroom. And one adding the bathroom in it and one room we are adding in it.
So isn't this 2 stories plus a basement, the old one?
Yeah, the deal.
That's the
That's
revised,
the
that's
old
The old
plan.
revised one,
Yeah.
yeah, the first one I remember
The first-
was
Yeah.
kind of a
Yeah.
mishmash.
So that's the second time they returned and were approved on November 9th.
And this is the new one, we are putting only deck on it on this side. And that's the deck we mentioned it.
But why,
Is this the massing of the house? Are you changing the massing, the roof, the framing, anything?
No,
Are you reskinning it? What are you doing to the?
so we're just putting a deck over here,
Deck, adding one extra
One.
bathroom and that's it.
outside, we are putting
so
this deck.
this is the existing house looks like this?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
And where's the bathroom? Where, What's the floor plan?
This is the floor plan.
The back.
But okay, but on the outside shell of the house, you're changing anything?
No,
We are not, we are putting deck on.
The box, are you changing anything on the house, the box itself?
No,
The windows change,
no, windows are changing. We have windows, this is how we, yeah,
but
windows.
are the openings changing?
Yes, the openings are changing.
Okay, I guess it would help if we knew what was changed.
The existing, are there existing
There are some
drawings?
photos. somewhere.
Yes.
Or just
Looks
show
like
it?
that's a false alarm.
Yeah.
Now we are changing the, we are, these are the windows, so we are putting new windows. This one, and these are all windows, we are putting new ones.
And openings, new openings.
Yes.
Are you reskinning the house? What's the outside of the house gonna be? What's this material?
Board and batten siding,
The whole house?
yes.
Is that what it is now, or?
No, it's a regular siding.
That's what was approved at the November 9th meeting.
That's-
That-
Yeah, yeah, see that.
Here's a
Well,
slide,
that's
here's a
just
slide
kind of
and
full
a
cottage
side
view.
view and like a back view maybe. There we go.
Yes. That's the first
So for
one.
my notes,
So it's
from the last
okay.
approval to today, you're just coming back for that second story addition?
No, no more additions.
But is that why you're here today? Because of
We
that?
are, I mean, they send us to ARB because the inspector wanted us to see this
Carry something
addition
here.
on the deck. That's why he wanted to see
Right,
us.
right here, something.
Okay.
The deck
Put it
and-
in front of the foundation. So you're really coming for the deck
Yes,
and window change?
yes.
Do you have the existing elevation so we can see what the before and after were?
There should be.
One existing.
Okay, which one? The rear? Which is the rear?
Yes,
Which is this?
this is the rear one.
Okay, east, west, north, south?
Uh,
Which is rear of the- Did I do a motion?
This says voided because this is what they applied with in September. You
The
wanna see
first
that? This is the first,
Yeah, I remember this was kind of long. This one had huge gables and wasn't a barn or a house.
Like this elevation, is this existing today?
yes,
So which one of those? There's one, I can't find one in
It's
there.
not this one.
Yeah, where is it? So what are you turning, is this northeast, south, or west?
this is this is in front on the north.
Northeast, west, or south?
So is it this one? Is that one becoming this elevation?
Yes.
So you're adding this piece. Are you adding this piece?
No, this is the existing as well.
So-
We're
so-
just putting this.
What is this gonna look like?
This is the existing on the, where the, right now, the existing deck is.
So which is
Which of these four elevations is this?
This is the south elevation. This is the south. This is-
What's
What's
this
the
one?
deck here? You said that there's an
Northeast,
existing
south,
deck.
or west?
And this is the should be-
Oh, so that is-
Doesn't look like
that is
anything.
not that.
It doesn't look like it matches, and also just be consistent, if you're gonna call this south, call that south also.
Okay.
I think you're
So it's only, I don't see any elevations that have a side and a exposed foundation.
But the roof
Is
is.
this
Except
exposed?
part of that one, but that has a garage on it too.
Right, it's got another map over there.
But the roof is not represented, you know, how.
Oh, it's a hip.
This is, yeah, look at here.
Yeah, so you have a hip roof here, but you don't have a hip roof there, so you're
And
changing that.
and in
too.
existing, you don't have it, which if you say that one of those is one of these elevations, none of them are represented in existing.
Who, is one of you the architect?
Yeah, that's the, before the architect, I mean, he got sick, he's very sick right now.
Okay, so one thing we stress and
Okay.
it wastes our time is that you have to come with clear, concise drawings of the existing and what the proposed is. And as soon as we see that they don't match up, that we can't make sense or clarity from it,
Okay,
it's kind of wasting our time, because you can just hear in the past 10 minutes,
yes,
we don't know what that is, we don't know what that is.
Mhm.
You didn't properly,
But that's not.
you didn't properly show this roof, you know, so nothing is really making any sense to us. So we're not gonna approve anything or comment on anything until we see drawings that really are professionally done and make sense,
okay.
okay? So you can tell your engineer, he has to come back, show existing elevations accurately
Okay,
and show what's changing clearly, like bold out the deck is new, bold out the windows is new.
I think if we should have a drawing, the previous one drawing, we
That
had.
you gave us like 2
Yeah,
weeks ago?
Yes,
Oh, in January.
January, right. So this is the west elevation, this is the south,
Existing. No, that's not existing.
that's the,
So we need to see existing and then we need to see the proposed changes.
okay,
Alright,
and this is the east and north.
Right. Don't call front, rear, left, right, call it north, south, east, west.
Okay.
So will that be consistent with the existing, the same, same labels,
Okay.
north, south,
Okay,
this way there's no confusion.
all right, no problem.
So the next meeting is gonna be April 10th.
Okay, no problem.
Okay? Thank
And
you can print smaller drawings.
these can be a 1/4 inch scale on smaller paper.
Sure.
All right,
you. We'll talk.
No problem.
All right. Is that all the pictures? Thank you.
We were going for the. They had a wheel.
So, 61 Bedford Road is next.
Were they here?
I believe they're virtual. Is anyone here for 61 Bedford? This is-
59, that's me, 5965 Bedford.
5965 Bedford, yeah.
Yes.
So this is the revised plan.
looks like it belongs tonight.
So it's on the last page of the minutes. The board suggested on the large glass to add a horizontal mutton across the picture window to keep the same line across the 2 pieces of glazing in the window. One smaller, one larger portion at the bottom to add a solid panel across the storefront, giving them room for signage.
Where's the signage gonna go? Is it south or is it southwest?
Okay, Amy,
Oh,
you
what's
can
that?
present. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, we wanna, if that's supposed to be solid,
Yeah, let's
for
ask-
signage, but
let's-
it's not clear.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Amy Novak Comarini. I'm an architect and owner of Rome Architecture. So what you're looking at this evening and what my client communicated to me, because I wasn't able to be with you last time, was that the comment from you was that you wanted them to maintain a horizontal mullion consistent with the rest of the elevation at the sign band. So that's what we've provided this evening, or in the new revised drawings, that's what we've provided. We provided a horizontal mullion across the proposed storefront.
What material is above the mullion? Is it glass or solid material?
It is glass.
Where do you think signage is gonna go?
From what I understand, my client intends to use vinyl signage or vinyl, like on the glass, to stick onto the glass.
They allowed to do that?
As long as it meets the certain size. They can't exceed 15%.
So it's gonna go in a picture window like Quaker Hill does, or is it gonna go up on the horizontal at the top?
The intent is effectively to match the height of the horizontal line that is currently acting as the sign band and carry it across into the new storefront.
That's right, I'm just wondering if anybody's gonna put signage, because there is no.
I mean, that's kind of like step two. I mean, we're here. just
Yeah,
to-
in a perfect scenario, I think the client would like to do all of the storefront at one time. However, right now they were dealing with 2 vacant spaces. So they wanted to take advantage of that and to replace the storefront in the vacancies first, and then move on to the Quaker Hill restaurant secondly.
Is the transom above the door at the door plane or is it the storefront plane?
It's at the storefront plane.
Okay, and then it's gonna return with some sort of ceiling or something to the door?
The detail will very much be consistent with what's there. We're really just taking out that current sign band that's shown in wood and replacing that with a piece of transom glass.
Oh, that, there's no ceiling between the transom and the door?
There is, but I believe it's up higher at the height of the top.
Oh, so it's just like this hanging piece of glass? Oh,
Correct.
okay, all right. All right,
No,
I mean,
well,
it
it's
looks
beautiful.
it looks better. Okay. Yep, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Good, yeah, I think it's good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're approved. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next one is actually here, the homeowner for 540 King. These are their pictures.
Before the,
Yes, I was able to print. Excellent.
Before you start, I just have a basic question, is what's happening with the garage? It doesn't show up on this drawing.
The garage is going to be removed,
Okay,
yeah,
under this permit,
on a separate permit.
so that should be removed first, because the addition is going in, like, it's gonna collide with the garage right now.
Close to it, yes.
I'm sorry, what's your name? Elizabeth. Elizabeth and Thomas? And Michael.
Michael,
Oh, Elizabeth and Michael. Last name?
it's SAR.
Where's the house?
Right now, the house ends here,
I see.
and the garage is like this, like that.
Michael and.
Site plan, right, or show-
No.
Who's the architect? Who's the architect?
It's an
Engineer.
Did you want to explain what's happening here?
Well, basically, they want to do a first floor and second floor addition to expand the first floor living room and kitchen. And the second floor, they're trying to create a master bedroom suite. And that also the the rooms, the bedrooms on the second floor are just being reconfigured. There's two existing bathrooms, one on the second floor and a pantry, a powder room on the first floor that is in the same location. It's just gonna be up.
So what's new? Is this new?
Everything from here over is.
Everything here over, if you look, there's a designation on the left side.
On the plan.
Yeah.
So one thing that we ask the architects or engineers is that we need to see all 4 existing elevations
Okay.
and then clearly show what you're changing or adding to those. So it's one set of drawings of existing, one set of all the changes, because right now I can tell on this, what you call the right side, and I wish you guys would use north, south, east, west. I don't think this gable is accurately drawn. There's another window below that that's not shown that you're taking out. So if you're gonna take out a window, we have to know that.
They cut lines, yeah. Show the
Yeah,
full
I mean,
elevation.
Maybe the cut line.
Yeah, they should show
No.
full elevation.
Yeah. Yeah, so the proportion of this is not that. This gable goes almost to the roof. This has a big window here that they're taking out. And there's the garage right there, it's
And
overlapping with
also-
the house.
And also it helps when we have the whole elevation, not just a fraction, because this way you can judge how it is
Okay.
proportionally designed
Sure.
and how it fits.
And, you know, I looked at Google Street View and it's a really cute front facade. It's a Queen Anne
Yeah,
style, it's really
yeah.
nice. And you could tell the next door neighbors have been butchered, that were similar to yours have been butchered over time.
Yeah,
Yours, I think your siding changed, is it aluminum right now?
It's
or-
it's fine.
yeah, it's
It's
going
vinyl.
to change, yeah.
So you probably had some more interesting siding up at the gable and everything. But what's being completely lost here is the whole feeling of that Queen Anne doesn't wrap around or anything. Does the back gable have a gingerbread piece in the gable? Do you have the rear photo?
Yeah, it's right there.
No, this is the on the side, and just like that,
Yeah, it does.
but the
No, I don't know. You see?
Yeah,
this one.
No, that's the front.
Here's the front, this the front, here's the
No,
front.
that's the one we just saw.
This up here, which does this? Is that this down?
Wait a minute, this is not your house, this is the neighbor's?
That's the neighbor's house.
That's a neighbor.
Right.
Yeah.
So like even in this return gable, you're just getting rid of that gingerbread, which is kind of nice to the house.
Mhm.
And what I'm asking is, do they have a photo of the back? Oh, it doesn't have. So, you know, I think, you know, this is an opportunity to take what's really historic with the house and that whole, the spindle porch, the wraparound porch, the gingerbread details and bring that around to the rest of the house, but that's secondary to just getting your drawings correct.
Right.
To show that, but keeping those two together is what you're gonna show as the proposed, I think makes a stronger story to us if you bring some of those details back. What kind of siding are you using here?
Vinyl.
Vinyl. And a lot of the massing of the house seems really clunky. You're just kind of, in this drawing, you can see that, so this thing is just drawn completely wrong. It's hard to tell, but this plane is actually in the same plane as this one, so it's just gonna be one massive house, even though in this drawing it looks like it's not.
Did you guys ever speak with an architect in this project?
Actually,
These are the engineers that are involved in it.
yeah, we just fill in because it was an incident.
We're actually acting as the owner's representative,
Yeah,
so.
Oh, you're not the owners?
we're
no,
not
not
the
at
owners.
all.
The engineer couldn't make it today, so we came for the owners.
Oh, okay. I think you're missing, I think the design component of the proposed is sorely missing here. Just for those reasons, I think, you know, one part of our purview is to make sure that you're not devaluing your property and the properties next
Oh,
door.
absolutely not,
And so my comment is, it looks like there was at least 2 or 3 Queen Anne style houses. The one to the west of you has been kind of butchered worse than this one.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
let's try to maintain the look of what you have left on your front facade, because it's really nice.
Yeah,
And bring it around, but the massing is really clunky, I think, of what you're trying to add.
I think they're trying to take the peak
continuously, so it doesn't look like an addition, that's my understanding was.
Right, but they're
So
bringing
they
this,
don't-
the east side completely in line with this gable. Again, it's not drawn correctly. And then on the rear elevation, it's just, it's a cyclops facade with one window and a giant series of sliding doors.
Yeah, they like the folding,
Sure,
the big folding doors.
right, but I think we need to see something that looks more intentional. And I know they're gonna tell me there's a shower and there's a bathroom behind there, but there's something, an architect or a designer could probably think of a way to keep windows and daylight coming into the house. We generally don't like facades without windows.
Yeah, the one that does not have windows, is the kitchen. And I'm gonna show you the layout of the
I
kitchen.
know, you took
It's
out a
the
window, but
whole-
you're not showing us.
Yeah, hold on one second.
We see the kitchen right here.
And it's a
Exactly, the whole entire kitchen.
it's a massive, long counter too.
They are very
my.
big people. They are very tall, they're like 6'2" in a little house. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's
funny.
very, you can't cook on it.
Wait, what is that? That's like
Oh.
20 feet long, right?
Yeah, that's not,
I will show exactly how the kitchen looks. It's a little deceiving, and when you look at the plans,
No, right now I bet it's a small kitchen.
it's
Yeah,
very tiny.
No, I know,
It's
I'm
very
just
tiny.
talking,
Here.
I'm talking about what the new layout is. It's,
I will
you-
show you the new layout.
you
I'm
have
so
no
sorry.
windows on the west side.
It's
of
right
the
here, the
kitchen.
new layout is here, you don't have
Right,
the, you don't
But
have the-
actually to visually see it per se,
But it's not built yet.
no, it's not.
So you,
No.
yeah,
You-
I mean, I think we understand that from here, this is the addition, so this is the existing.
Mhm.
So whatever you are adding, so I think what,
no,
We're saying
the
is
house has some historic charm, but
This
but
is
it's
how the
not
kitchen
reflected
would
in
look
the-
like.
oh, so this is a new
So-
rendering.
Exactly.
Oh, I see.
So that's what I'm trying to
Oh, I
say,
see.
that the problem is when we lay out they lay out all the cabinets and so forth. The windows is not like, they have the range and the hood and all that, as you see. So,
But there are ways to work
Yeah,
windows in
there,
the
you know,
kitchen,
here you can, oh, sorry,
most,
you could actually,
You're getting rid of all the daylight from the west.
okay, I'm so sorry. And then it's a big beam that supports the second floor.
right, so under the beam, you could have the cabinet, and here you could have a window, for example. I think not having a window in the kitchen, it's
Or
sad.
that whole west side has no windows.
so that kitchen doesn't exist yet, that's what you're
No,
going.
No,
to.
that's
So
the
what we're saying
new
is,
kitchen.
well, that's proposing.
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
So what we're suggesting is that you propose cabinets and counters that allow for some windows in the
Okay,
house, because it's just totally blank
okay,
and has no historic charm at all.
okay.
Right, we'd like to see some of the details.
So are you accepting like a small windows up above, like
We
you
would
see
have to,
where
we
No,
have
we
to
don't
see
know.
it.
We
We
need-
would
Look
have
at the
to see
front facade. This
Yes,
has charm,
yes,
this doesn't have charm.
This is like a barn.
So we want to see some of this charm reflected in the other three sides of the house.
And it's, by charm, we also mean the details, the proportion, the massing of that front taken to the sides here. And if you say that to an engineer, they might not understand what we're talking about.
yeah.
You
I
might
think
want
if
to
they
talk to
hire
an
a
architect.
designer or an architect,
Mhm,
they might get it.
mhm.
It almost looks like two different houses.
Yeah, when I looked
That
at
are
Google,
like trying to like,
I had to look at Google Earth and Google Street View to
Yeah.
make sure it's the same house.
yeah.
Plus also, it's not represented, we don't see the whole facade,
Right.
we only see what you're proposing.
Right.
But I mean,
They are
the
very
point of
close
having.
to their neighbors
Mhm.
on this, literally on this side. And the new owners didn't quite like to see them.
Mhm.
So that's how the kitchen end up that way. And we have windows on this side because they have more room from their home to the next house.
So you don't
Like-
have a survey
Like
or a site plan?
there is just a driveway and the neighbor's house is like right here.
Okay, but there could be
You know-
clear story, there could be something,
Some
Yeah, no,
some
line.
I
pattern
understand.
on the elevation that gives it
understand.
some charm and character.
Yeah, yeah.
And what is this, I missed this, what's this, is this a chin, oh, it's a fireplace.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was a stair a year ago on the side, what happened to that? Not that I liked it.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I saw it on Google Street View.
I think that was closed off.
What was it, an apartment or something?
You mean the stairs that's coming down to the basement?
From the second floor, there's a weird wood stair
I
from the
think that was
second.
closed off.
Yeah, it was closed off now, but from the street view last year, it's still there.
Oh, really? This one they closed down, but that wasn't.
Oh, okay, maybe they took it out.
No,
And the owners renovating this for themselves to live in?
Yeah,
no,
the owner.
yes, yes.
Wait, so Steve, can they file this without filing the demolition of the garage first?
Yeah,
Oh, they can?
yeah, the demo permit's separate.
Okay.
They probably wouldn't be able to build it though.
Well, they can't build this without getting rid of the garage.
Yeah, that garage is.
Yeah.
I don't know who put that there. It's like, it literally 2 feet from the corner of the house.
Yeah, and it's not, it's also
It's-
tilted,
yes.
it's diagonal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think, we need to see.
We want to encourage you to put some charm back in the other
I
side.
understand. Yeah, we understand.
So our next meeting is April 5th. Okay, so I'll just need the revised plans one week prior to, which is March 29th.
Is it the fifth? Passover? Right.
Wait,
It's Passover. Is it? I thought there was
I'll check the calendar. Give me one
so
second.
you and I talked about the holiday.
Yeah.
I won't be able to do it.
Let me just double check, please.
It's too bad that you don't really have a space on that driveway to wrap around the porch. You don't have room. That's the sad part of that little house, to me, I could see,
It's got a really
Right now,
long
but
backyard though, right?
It's got a very long-
yes.
so-
Unfortunately, this house, you have to pick it up and move it.
I think what you need is somebody, and I'm not saying, the architect or design, but you need somebody to really look at the house, and you might have to rethink the floor plan. And by rethinking the floor plan, it'll change how the outside looks. And that's what we're concerned with, because right now,
Yeah.
the logic of I want a big kitchen, I want windows in the back, you could come up with 5 different exteriors with that.
And we don't object to your interior kitchen, but it doesn't look very practical. I suggest someone really think about how that's gonna work if you're cooking. At a counter that's 30 feet long.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna change.
Kitchens wanna be triangles, right, between sink and, the stove and
There's
the
different
grill.
philosophies on that.
well, I'm European, so I disagree with you on that.
The Europeans.
Only Americans go in circles. European, we have everything here, you take food from the refrigerator, you cook, and then you move on, no room around the kitchen.
Okay.
So, okay, so we'll give them all the love.
Yes,
Bob, the
we'll
only
put that
one
correctly.
that was changed was in October.
Okay, I won't be here.
Okay. So April 5th is the next meeting.
Okay, okay,
Thank you so much.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a good
Have a
night.
good evening.
Bye-bye.
Sure.
Next application is 14 Whitlaw Close. Designs, pictures. The addition.
Yeah, I think this one's fine. I think it's really for this, little tiny deck.
Is this a prefab or is this what is it? It's prefab.
It's
It
just
looks
the
nice.
deck.
I think the deck in this little shed.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, good evening. My name is Brad Demott. I'm an architect representing Owen and Kimberly O'Neill. So we are doing a couple things to this house, all on the backyard. One is we're removing, replacing a deck. We are adjacent to the deck, we'll be building a terrace on grade with an outdoor fireplace. And we're also proposing a detached shed. We've had some previous approvals already for this project. We needed a variance for the shed for encroaching on setbacks. And all of this work is within the wetlands buffer, and we have that approval as well. So if I may do a screen share, I have some other drawings to present.
Is the shed a prefab or is it a, handmade, stick built?
It'll be a prefab. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the existing site plan. You can, and the, you see the existing house roughly in the middle, and to the back of that is a deck that has definitely seen better days. It's a very weird shape, not in good condition. And you can see the dark green there is the wetlands, the edge of the wetlands, which really just encompasses most of the property. And then moving along, this is the proposed site plan, which is, and the existing deck is roughly going to be in the same place as the proposed deck is going to be in the same place as the existing, just more of a rectangle. And then the back side of that is the terrace with the fireplace that's butting up right against the rear yard setback, but that is within the setback. And then the upper left-hand corner is the proposed shed. And then to look at this at a larger scale, these are the existing photographs. So front elevation, there's no work at all to the front. This is right side, left side / front. And then the back of the house with the existing deck. And then the right side elevation. So this is the deck and terrace at a larger scale. And you can see the outline of the existing deck that would be removed. So the proposed deck is roughly the width of that section of the house. It extends out about 16 feet. It'll be synthetic decking with a white composite railing system and a lattice skirt around the perimeter. The terrace will be bluestone pavers, and the fireplace. Well, this is we'll come back to the elevations. And then so along the back edge of the terrace is a fireplace, and then with I won't really call it a sitting wall because it's a little higher than that, but it's really more for log storage. And then you can see this is the rear elevation, proposed rear elevation and right side elevation showing deck and fireplace from the side. And again, this is white composite railing. This trim, the PVC trim would be the skirt board, that would all be PVC. Lattice would be PVC privacy lattice, and the fireplace itself at a larger scale. So this is the fireplace. So this is the fireplace is a kind of a pre-constructed unit. It comes in a couple pieces. It's almost modular, so it's not really built in place. You just buy it in sections and stack one on top of the other, and it's rough. It's just raw precast concrete, and then you wrap it with thin stone, and then we're going to build the wings up to the sides. These walls with that have the log storage bins within them. So this is plan elevation and elevations from the side. And then this is a picture of, and you see in the upper right hand corner more the modular aspect of that. They're precast. And then this is just for a little more detail. This is really the base of this unit, the core of it, and it just gets wrapped with the stone of your choice. And then the shed. This is the shed, which is roughly 10 feet deep, 20 feet wide. And it will, we have doors and windows on the front. This would be all the design to match the house. Cedar clapboard siding painted white, PVC trim painted white, black shutters, flower boxes painted black, asphalt shingle roofing, and copper roofed cupola. And the shed would look very similar to that once completed.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. I'm okay.
That's good.
Okay, thank you, you're approved.
You're approved.
Oh, any questions?
That was the good news,
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Good night.
Your microphone is
Next applications, anyone on for 14 Rose Home?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Harry.
Good, all right.
You can come in.
Awesome.
Pictures. Are you the owner or the architect?
Architect.
You want to walk us through?
You're the homeowner or the architect?
I'm the architect, my name is Christopher Taramina. What we're proposing is a single-story, open-aired, covered porch and a new deck, replace an existing deck. We're reducing the size of the deck and then extending a portion of an existing terrace. The siding of the porch, essentially building it with fin walls to match the siding of the house. The length of the fin walls is due to, we're gonna be thinking about doing some future roll screens inside. So we need some room for the cavities. And it's pretty straightforward and simple, just a flat roof off the left side of the house.
Do you have a roof plan?
I don't.
Is this a kit or is this handheld, the stick built?
Oh, yeah, it's stick built.
I mean, I find it, what's weird is you've got a strong eave line all around the house. And then you're colliding this flat roof, not at the eave line, but about a foot apart. And so you're getting all these odd intersections with this gable here and how this gable here ends there, and I don't know where your water's gonna go. And all of those, but that's not our purview, but I just think it architecturally looks very clunky.
Well, even if we did study it with a pitched roof there, a gable end, coming off of in this direction, it was sort of gable on gable. And that gable was gonna conflict with the existing skylight beyond. And while it does meet the roof higher, it sits within it, so it was always gonna sort of be with that existing gable in that direction was gonna be a little clunky to begin with.
Are they touching or is there space in between?
No, it's integrating with the gables. I mean, this has a really strong, shallow gable and shallow gable intersecting it, and then they're putting this flat roof structure there that sort of meets it, a little bit higher there.
The frieze board lines up with the underside of the eave.
Right, but then you have water coming down here that's gonna go past that gutter, and I'm not sure what's happening here, and it just. You can kind of make it out here, so this is one gable, this is another, and it's a weird slanted cut to the gable end.
Yeah, they're angled.
So you've got a valley here, and then you've got a cricket here, but then this is coming around to the flat roof.
It's really just gonna, really a flat roof pitching to the eaves in each direction, that one main roof. The roof itself is just a cross, essentially.
Yeah.
Crossing gables.
Well, did you look at bringing the gutter line back down to the existing gutter line?
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be able to get an 8-foot ceiling height then.
Okay, yeah, it's like, you had no measurements on your drawings, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I mean, if the eave brings it down, it's a deep overhang, so 2 feet brings it down quite far.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, that's the reason. And then try to, again, line up the bottom of the frieze board with the bottom of the eave, at least bring some, some component of it around. The facades of the existing building are pretty straightforward and pretty simple. It's like just a ranch house with just 4-inch exposed clapboard and 4-inch. Actually, the windows don't even have trim. They're just the window frames.
I mean, this is opposite of what I was saying earlier to another project, is I kind of don't understand the cedar brackets here in this house. You know, it's a kind of a modern kind of ranch house, and then you're putting kind of a bracket for, I guess, decorative purposes, but.
Yeah, at first I thought it was gonna be needed for structure, but we have to, for wind, we have like a rigid frame there, so, I mean, I'm not, you know, I don't think the homeowner's necessarily married to those either, and I'm not necessarily, so, I mean,
Did you guys look at an option of just pulling it away from the house a couple feet? I mean, it seems like it doesn't want to attach to the house very well, I mean.
well, they wanna be able to go from,
Sure.
well, this is gonna be assuming they do the screens, which is gonna happen, then they wanna be able to go from the house into this
Sure.
room, you know, during the cooler months and not have to go outside.
Sure.
Are you making the existing deck bigger or
Smaller.
smaller?
Is there any way to pull it out and then figure out a way to connect and cover that open space so that you don't get wet going between the house and the pavilion?
Just makes it really complicated. I mean, I know that the eave doesn't correspond, but
Yeah, it's just getting kind of shoved into the house, it doesn't right now.
Yeah, it just, other than saying the fascia board meets the gutter line, you're just kind of colliding this flat, 8 foot high, flat roof structure with the house. I'd like to,
well,
you know.
wrapping the siding around and the trim details, and it's gonna really be an extension of the house. It's not gonna be, I mean, separating it is gonna be a mistake. So, I mean, it's not, you know, they want it to be integrated to the house.
You mentioned you investigated the gable roof,
Mhm.
and I didn't catch what was the.
Maybe they can get
reason?
into
The owners just prefer the flat roof.
Yeah, if you lined up with the house, you said you can't get an 8 foot height. But if you lined up and then you somehow pitched or did something, you could get 8 feet, you'd be a little lower than 8 feet at the wall, but nobody's gonna stand on the wall.
Right, no, the gable would work for sure, except, I mean, it would conflict with the skylights, and the owners did prefer the gable, but, I mean, the flat roof.
But if you did a pitch the same as the existing house, it doesn't look like it'll hit the skylight from your drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may or may not hit, it's gonna be close. I mean, well, I could talk to the owner about that.
Well, I mean, when I looked at this, it just struck me how clunky it was, and I'd like to see another more elegant solution to how it meets the house. And, you know, like I said, maybe I wouldn't personally do the brackets. And maybe it needs a pitched roof, maybe the gutter line, you know, bringing the gutter line down to the existing gutters. I understand it's a challenge, but, you know, that's the design brings the solution to that challenge, so.
You know, like it to feel like it grew out of the house, and not like it's just gliding on that.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't stay in the same plane. I know you're matching the plane of the house. Maybe it sets back 6 inches, so it, you know, creates something else.
That it's flat and the gable is.
Oh, the gable will definitely work in that spot. You know how these, you know, it's like gable and gable, and then there'll be a little shed roof, little pitched cricket in there, in between the two.
Right.
It's worth exploring, I think.
I mean, is this square shape sacred, this dimension, or can it get longer and a little narrower or something?
I mean, longer is gonna be a problem for sure. I mean, longer in which direction?
Again, I don't know. I would usually draw the furniture in to see what you're trying to place in there.
Mhm.
And then, you know, you could probably change the shape, and that'll change the shape of the roof, and maybe it could meet the house better.
It's gonna make it more complicated if it's wider, meaning, that's what I'm asking which direction you're.
I was just thinking this way, but make it narrower this way and longer this way, but, you know, again, I don't know.
I mean, this is the shape, this is the space that they want, so.
I think we're asking if you can take a look at studying some other alternatives where it can look like it's growing out of the house as opposed to, you know, being pushed up against it. And we meet again in 2 weeks, you know, something?
April 5th.
Is that good? What's today, 3 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
3 weeks, we automatically do the agenda.
Okay, all right.
You can
So-
just get me the plans 1 week prior to, so that the 29th I can write it on the agenda.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you, thanks.
The last one is 27 South Greeley from Mexican Deli. Signed.
I think Tyler's on.
Good evening. How are you?
Hi.
Okay, so my name is Tyler. I'm from Sign Extreme, and I'm representing Hector Carmona from Mexcellent Deli. And we're proposing to refinish the existing sign and put basically the same kind of material that was on there before with his new information, and also to install a window decal on the inside of the glass.
What's the rule of details, just the maximum square footage?
What is on the black upper sign? Is that just vinyl or is it?
The previous sign was just like a plotter cut vinyl, but we're going to be putting a print over it with an overlam in it to cover any kind of ghosting that might be there from the removal of the old letters.
It's reusing the same.
They're using the old
Reusing
sign,
the
but it's not gonna look as nice as the old sign.
I wonder how it's
Oh,
gonna
it's
look.
going to look better than the old sign because it's going to be like, it's going to look brand new, basically. We're just basically reusing the substrate. It's flat and it'll look brand new when it's up.
Does Villarina's sign have texture to the letters now?
No, it's basically just a vinyl film that will peel right off.
I think it's
And then that's, and then
similar
the new film that will go over it,
Nice.
yeah, it'll just cover any kind of discoloration on the substrate.
The graphics is fine, it's just
I'm
the
fine with that.
material.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
As long as it meets whatever it is Steve and Tom's doing.
What, David?
No, I think it's good.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
it looks
Okay,
just like
thank
the
you.
royal sign.
You're fair.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
When are they opening?
Aesthetic.
Are they open?
No,
He
not
can't
yet.
hear.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear. Say that again. I'm sorry. Oh, when are
Just
they
curious.
opening? I'm not sure, actually. That's a good question.
I
That's a
thought I
good question.
heard
I know
by the
they're
end of the
moving
month.
pretty fast, though. Maybe Daisy knows.
Yeah, I think by the end of the month, I heard through the grapevine.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so you're approved, so if you can just get us
Wonderful.
all of your insurance information and just email it to me and I'll give it to Tom.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Good night.
Have a great evening.
Bye.